So, welcome to another edition of the Rock Chronicles. Now, basically, what I'm going to talk about or what I'm going to say is the importance of having an outlet. I say that because rock climbing has sort of hit, I don't know, hit a nerve or hit some sort of trigger, which is weird because, I've participated in, a few sports and you get the adrenaline rush and all that, but rock climbing is some sort of weird spiritual thing, which for me normally would sound stupid. But it's interesting how there's such a sense of accomplishment when it comes to achieving something at the gym. Now, I say the importance of having an outlet because rock climbing has become that outlet for me. And I also say that because I went to visit somebody yesterday, and the long and the short, they're just having a difficult time. And I went by and it was good to see them, and we talked, and I got a chance to listen to some of the things that was going on, and the one thing I kept thinking in my head was like, there's no outlet. There's nothing to occupy your mind or figure out, or something to give you a sense of achievement. Now, I never thought that climbing these artificially made slabs and things would bring that, but it has. So, having said that, it makes me want to go outdoor climbing that much more, because I absolutely adore camping and being outdoors. So if I could mix rock climbing in with that, I'm set. So I hope I can eventually convince him to find some sort of outlet. Now, it doesn't need to be rock climbing, but like a long time ago, he came to me and inquired about like different martial arts. So I'm not bringing anything revolutionary to him, but I hope he does pick something soon. So I think just with a little persuasion, we can get there. I was gonna say on a lighter note, but I mean, this whole thing is light. Like, it's not supposed to be anything negative. But like a couple of things I found. So I was having like these. I have these small little conversations with people at the gym, and there was a couple of guys that I had a conversation with, and I was talking about essentially gorilla climbing, just basically climbing with no technique. And I had mentioned like my shoulder to my climbing partner before, and as I'm listening to these guys, the one guy is talking about his shoulder, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess it's more prevalent than what I thought. Now, the other guy was talking about his hands, and I guess it's a common thing people lose a lot of skin. Now, I haven't lost any skin, but I've gained some more callus on my hands. Now, I've always had these two from the bells, Dunbar and Kettle, but I've acquired some more. So, but I'm actually quite proud of these war wounds. So I'll take these as opposed to losing skin any day. So, you know what's funny? I I was on site and I showed somebody my hands and they like went like as if, I don't know, as if I had some sort of rash on my hand or something. It was the funniest. Well, I don't know. For me, it was a funny response. But see here, you know what's interesting with that? It just reminded me of something. I was about to say that I don't think that men should have like smooth hands. Not saying your hands should be gnarled, but I just don't. Here, you shouldn't have pretty hands. Now I remember, some time ago, and I never really thought I had like particularly smooth hands or anything of that nature. Right now, I guess, I've accumulated my medals, so it's a little bit worse. But somebody said to me how, like, I had soft hands, but it wasn't. It wasn't meant to be a compliment. So I found that interesting. So I'm wondering if I would pass the smooth hand test now. And I'm wondering what these mitts are gonna be like in 5 or 6 years of climbing. But, so another thing with climbing that, sort of for me crosses over into life, and I'm sure you could do this with any sport. When I started up at the gym, it was over the holidays, Christmas holidays. And the routes or the problems or whatever you want to call them, they were there for a good 2-3 weeks. Something like that. And I mean, admittedly, it was getting a little like stale, sort of like seeing the same thing. And I remember talking with my climbing partner and two things, like how often they changed it, and like I was thinking like every 4 or 5 weeks kind of thing. And another question was how they actually change it. So that's the time frame I'm thinking. So I'm climbing on Tuesday, and I'm sitting there and I see another climber that I've seen there before. Don't know his name or anything of that nature. And he comes along and he sits down, and I look and I do a double take, and I'm like, did you used to have long hair? And he's like, yeah, I just cut it all off or whatever. And that's what sparked the conversation. And come to find out that the reason why the routes were set for so long is because it was the holidays. What had happened was I came in, there was a particular route that was just giving me problems. And it was like my Achilles heel. And I came in and I looked up to go see it, and it was gone. Something else was there. So this dude was filling us in on the fact that it changes every week. And the reason why I say that, sorry, it crosses over into life is because I thought I had more time to figure it out. And I never really took the time to see just what my time frame was, how much time I had. So now I know I have a week once they put it up, and they stagger the method in which they change. And he also said that how they change and when they change is posted up in front on a bulletin board, which I've never looked at. So yes, so it's, to do these things that are challenging for you, in my opinion, would have to go quite frequent because, let's say they change it Saturday to Saturday, every Saturday change it. And you don't go that often, and you come in on a Wednesday and you see a problem, and then by Saturday it's gone again. So I'd rather be able to take a 7-day run at it. I guess technically it wouldn't be 7 days, it'd be 3 to 4 days because climbing every other day, just in the sense, just for longevity and see how that works. Yeah. So that was good news, finding out they change it every week, because it puts a fire under your tail to figure it out, and it doesn't get stagnant. You're not always seeing the same thing. It's like going to a different gym all the time, which is quite good. Yeah, so I have a session tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to all of them, so I'm not sure. Yeah, that goes without saying. But I guess just as different things happen, and the more I climb it, the more I appreciate being able to, and the mental and physical aspects of it. Like I said before, climbing makes me want to bulletproof myself physically, and the aesthetics. Climbing for me makes the aesthetics like secondary. Because the thing I found, for myself anyways, and maybe other people are the same way, and maybe this information might help. But if you get into shape for the purpose of like vanity, to look good, and you say, okay, well, when I look good, I'll feel good. Fair enough. But if the sole purpose is let's call it vanity, I believe it's hard to maintain. Not impossible, but more, not even hard, but just more difficult. Because to have the why just be to be in shape. Now, when you look at health reasons and, the functionality of being in shape, being able to, as you get older, get up out of bed, not throw your back out. When you're younger, participating in, different activities. So, climbing makes me want to get stronger and not more muscular. I've never really been into being overly muscular, like that whole swole thing, because I never knew what you were gonna do with that. So I want to see just how far I can push climbing and how far climbing will push me. I'm not sure if I have anything else right now to add to the Chronicles, but a recap and basically just to go over, everybody should have an outlet. And I believe everybody should have a physical outlet because there's a lot to be said for moving around. And everybody should try and take care of themselves physically, and because I think that would help mentally. Now, everybody, thanks for listening. And you know what? Find somebody you love and hug them.